First off, really proud of our players. It's a really tough environment. That's a really, really good team, incredibly well-coached team. When I do things in the summer and trying to improve, and this is one of the first teams that I look at. Coach Meg's done a tremendous job. What they run is great. Probably some of the stuff that we saw tonight and some of the stuff I saw preparing for these guys, I'm sure will kind of end up in our playbook here at some point. But just kudos to our players. I know, as we just told them, not everything was perfect, but that's a really, really tough win to get. I think that'll prove to be an important win for us and maybe for the league at some point. So great win. You got to be happy with it, and we'll fix the problems tomorrow.
Yeah. Obviously, they kind of sped me up a little bit, so I definitely have to work on staying composed. But honestly, I've been in this program for 4 years. I've been in the system for 4 years, so I kind of know what to expect late in games, especially like what people will try and do to us, speed us up. Obviously, being one of the main ones. So I think just me being out there is just kind of like I'm trying to calm everybody down, which hopefully works. But yeah, I just think that I kind of know what he's thinking, and I'm good at talking with everybody else, so I just think that it's kind of why I'm on the floor, even when I'm being rushed.
Yeah, I think we kind of laughed at ourselves a little bit in that first media timeout. And, I think when we weren't playing well offensively and we were missing some uncharacteristic shots, I think our defense did keep us close. And I think Meg would be the first one to tell you they missed some shots too. So maybe both teams had some missed opportunities. We just kind of had to breathe a little bit. That media timeout, I think we counted 6, 7 layups that we had missed, and we kind of laughed and said, hey, do we want to keep shooting layups, or are we going to pass up the layups because we're not making tonight? And so I think they kind of relaxed a little bit. I felt after that, weirdly, maybe they didn't listen to me, but we seemingly, at least we got to the paint, but some of those kick-out threes kind of settled us down a little bit. And I thought we were really good. We were really good when we got to the paint, but I thought we did a good job getting to the paint. Some of those were kickouts. I thought even starting the half, Sweeney going baseline, finding paint, finding Rachel for an open three. I thought Maggie, tough evals, man. I think 16-9 and 4 assists, 3 blocks. I think it's a pretty good stat line. So with all due respect, man, I think that's pretty good. Well, I'll take those off nights from her. But I think that first quarter we were able to kind of regroup a little bit, and we weren't all of a sudden buried. That's one of those that you just look back and be like, man, we played well except for the first quarter, and we couldn't come back from it. We kept that thing close, to your point, Doug, and I thought that was as big of a key tonight was our defense. Well, one, I think it was a great experience. It didn't feel like it at the time. I think there was tonight when things weren't going well. You saw what Alicia Newell could do. So I do think we have grown up a lot in the last 8+ days. I think that was a little bit of I don't want to say shell shocker, but news to you guys that haven't seen Texas. Like, they're really good. So all of y'all that whatever, Mr. AP back there, Doug, like, as I told him, they're better than they were last year. Just wait, they will be better. So a little bit is just a tough environment and a tough game. But we did some things that were just, I thought, uncharacteristic. And I thought being in a tough environment tonight, we had already done that. We'd already checked that off the list a little bit with Texas. Maggie, I thought, was fantastic, overhearing some stuff of just calming them on the floor, but also during timeouts. I think we can look back in some of the Texas stuff and the film that we watched after Texas, and then some of the physicality. As physical as Texas is, you see that, and that's obvious. I don't think people understand, how well coached these guys are and just how physical these guys are. You see it in some of the offensive rebounds, but they're just so tough and so physical. I think Texas prepared us for that tonight as well.
I think it kind of started in high school. Kind of like COVID was tough on a lot of people, so I think COVID helped me a lot. So I just kind of grew up and I watched a lot of film, and just seeing different things kind of helped me start to direct people in high school, like trying to help out like where they can go, and just like little things like that. I think that just kind of like built my confidence in like being that calming presence for people. And then coming into college, like I got to give credit to my upperclassmen when I was a freshman: Addie Budnick, Grace Townsend, Siobhan Ryan. Like they all did a really good job of being leaders for me, and I was able to watch and observe how they kind of calmed everybody down. Especially Addie too. Shout out to her; it's her birthday today, so she did an like unbelievable job, just like helping me kind of grow in that leadership role, even like more than I already was. And then yeah, like once they started to graduate and stuff, I just kind of stepped into that role and kind of took it upon myself to make sure everybody else kind of felt that calming presence as well.
Coach, Ryan Blood's obviously a great scorer. You guys held it to her season low. She was 7 of 25 from the floor. Just talk about what the game plan was first, but also specifically Alicia and the effort she did today.
And I think that was really a major thing that we missed in that Texas game, right? And obviously, things went a lot differently after she was hurt. So I think she did a really good job. I think Maggie, Rachel had some time on her today, and just I thought even Rain stretches. We had to make her work. It felt like a louder. I know she was hitting the pull-up today. That was really hard for us, and you kind of have to but you got to kind of give her something. Felt better when she was, at least making those pull-ups than the wide open threes. I think the one she made, if I'm not mistaken, was early in transition after a mistake for us on the other end. I still thought she was good tonight. You look at the stat sheet and it's like, oh, I didn't realize that she had taken that many shots. Didn't realize that she was 1 for 10 because so much of our attention had been on her. But I think Alicia just did such a good job making her work. And I thought that was the early part too of, all right, I don't know what else to do. She was scoring. She kind of hit a stride there, but at least she was moving. At least she had to work. And, I think Allie maybe took advantage of some of the effort that Riley had to do on the offensive end. I think we were able to maybe a couple times at some key moments have Allie break down a defense and just make some plays. So I think Alicia did a good job on her. And then, on the offensive end, I think I said this during the radio, I'm probably maybe not remembering. I know St. Joe's, she was really good last year, but that was a big-time game from Allie Sweeney today, and maybe her best game in a Richmond uniform. Sorry if I'm overlooking some key moments from you. Thank you.